We'll have to cut off his candy supply first.
Already on it, buddy!
It's time to enter the Spongyverse. After being announced during last year's THQ showcase, news surrounding the Cosmic Shake has been radio silent. That was until this year's THQ showcase, where we got to see our very first glimpse of gameplay, and you can immediately tell that there's just so much more personality and charm to these worlds and character models than the ones seen in Rehydrated. Don't get me wrong, Rehydrated's cutscenes look good, but they felt kinda held back due to the developers trying to sync everything with the original game's audio, which resulted in certain sounds not matching certain scenes. Here, you can tell that they've had a lot more freedom to do what they've always wanted to do, and the difference is night and day. Just look at these sea bears from the camping episode. It's amazing what they've accomplished so far. It's like watching a CGI episode of the show, it's that good. Heck, even the locations seem to be so much grander in scale, and way more in depth in terms of exploration and things to do compared to some of Rehydrated's locations. Now, before I get into the analysis portion of the video, as well as getting into the extra details we learned from the PlayStation blog post, I have to mention that the game currently has no release date, which was kinda confusing to some of us as the trailer just abruptly cuts to the end of a reveal trailer with no release date. But there is a leaked release date going around about the game releasing in January. This comes from a French online store called Cultura. I've honestly never heard of it, but I don't think this is a final nor placeholder release date, as it could shift around when the official date gets announced. But considering the game will likely be at Gamescom in some capacity, if Gamescom posting about it is anything to go by, it's possible they could announce the release date there, but even then, it doesn't really make any sense considering Gamescom takes place roughly a week or two after the showcase. Why not just announce it with the trailer? I don't get it. In either instance, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. So let's dive into all the new stuff we got, and even point out all the little Easter eggs and references along the way. First of all, this is confirmed to be a spiritual successor to Rehydrated, as mentioned in the PlayStation blog post by Martin Crouch, senior producer at THQ Nordic. In regards to what the elevator pitch for the game was, let's create a brand new spiritual sequel to our fan favorite remake, Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. A 3D platformer focused on themed worlds, funky costumes, and the buddy banter between SpongeBob and Patrick. Focusing on SpongeBob as he travels to the Wild West, medieval, or prehistoric times, and more, was always at the core of the game vision, and the idea of having Patrick be your constant companion in the form of a cute balloon was also there right from the very beginning. Just looking at this footage, we can tell that Cosmic Shake will play kinda similarly to Battle for Bikini Bottom. SpongeBob runs about the same speed, he still tongue slides, buttons have new icons on them, tikis are making a return, SpongeBob's health is the same as Rehydrated's, and his bubble wand attack are all still here. But since SpongeBob is the only playable character here, the developers wanted to greatly expand on his abilities. For example, gliding with the pizza box from the pizza delivery episode, which fills the void Sandy leaves behind due to not being playable here. The Steam page mentions a fishhook swing, implying SpongeBob might also be able to swing across gaps like Sandy did in Battle for Bikini Bottom, and even a cartwheel move that's similar to Patrick's from the SpongeBob movie game. Also some new ones like SpongeBob throwing a bubble and trapping an enemy inside, and a homing attack. Totally not Sonic inspired, I assure you. Now, it might feel like Purple Lamp is pulling a Sonic team on us by making SpongeBob the only playable character, but at least it makes sense within the context of the story, which revolves around SpongeBob and Patrick getting overexcited with a vial of wish-granting mermaid tears, which ultimately tears open the very fabric of space and time, resulting in Patrick turning into a balloon, releasing the cosmic jelly onto Bikini Bottom, which are the various enemies we see in the gameplay, while introducing a new villain, Cassandra, who doesn't appear in the trailer. And this opens up portals to 7 different wish worlds which SpongeBob's friends become trapped in, and you have to rescue them, bringing Sandy back from a karate movie themed downtown Bikini Bottom, Squidward in a prehistoric kelp forest, or rescuing Pearl from the medieval sulfur fields. And speaking of Pearl, she's right here with a I Love Karate shirt, and this ultimately makes this her very first 3D game appearance. According to Martin Crouch, every world is unique and has its own distinct story, and that's where the costumes come in, to help SpongeBob and Patrick fit in better with the respective world they're in, like the SpongeGar and Patar costumes, making them talk like they did in the SpongeBob Goes Prehistoric episode.
SpongeBob, free.
Squad free. Patar free.
Squidward, Beluga.
Peripheral.
Now, the reveal trailer for the game featured Caveman SpongeBob as opposed to SpongeGar. I don't know if it'll still be in the game or if they swapped it out so it wouldn't be so confusing with 2 prehistoric costumes. I don't know. Other costumes include the karate gear, the Cuddly Crab uniform from the Bossy Boots episode, Western SpongeBob from Pest of the West, which we also seen in the reveal trailer, and even Summertime SpongeBob from the Krabby Land episode.
Walking in the grass, it's so fine. Don't need shoes in the summertime.
Let me go.
According to the PlayStation blog post, unlocking dozens of cult classic costumes for SpongeBob is also for the first time a core focus in a SpongeBob game. Whether you want to run around as a knight in shiny armor or just in your underpants, it's up to you. So it sounds to me that even though some of these 30 costumes are connected to their respective levels, you have the ability to swap back and forth between them at any time, as indicated by the karate gear being used in downtown Bikini Bottom, and this screenshot of the Cuddly Crab outfit being used in a similar portion of the level. But outside of the fan service and cosmetic reasons, I wouldn't really know what the purpose of unlocking them is for, as there have been no mention of any of these costumes having unique abilities attached to them. So I don't know, time will tell, I guess? We do see a glimpse of a boss battle against Gary in Halloween Rock Bottom, where you have to stay out of Gary's field of view by hiding behind a bunch of Larrys from the Dumped episode, and destroy his candy supply to end his sugar rush, in order to bring him back home. And wouldn't you know it, his candy supply is in the form of the candy machines from the Rock Bottom episode. That's genius. I also like the reference to Gary's dream from the Sleepy Time episode. That's pretty good. And also the chocolate bars Patrick ate from the Life of Crime episode. I'll, never gonna forget that classic.
Now I'm gonna starve.
The game also throws in some new gameplay mechanics, which were actually teased in the game's initial reveal trailer, like rolling on rocks in prehistoric kelp forest, helping some prehistoric Mr. Krabses while sliding, no idea what that's about, and even riding Mystery the Seahorse through western jellyfish fields before getting interrupted by a train. Not gonna lie, this part reminded me of the Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart initial reveal trailer. As for collectibles, there doesn't seem to be any shiny things in sight, which does make sense because they came from robots, not these cosmic jelly enemies. Instead, we got these gray looking orbs as well as coins, and we don't really know what either one of these are for outside of possibly unlocking costumes and levels. And before I forget, this isn't exactly Cosmic Shake related, but I still found it pretty cool that Prawn from Battle for Bikini Bottom actually made it into a SpongeBob episode 19 years after his debut. That's crazy. Anyways, I'm really impressed with what I've seen of Cosmic Shake so far. It looks to be a massive improvement over Rehydrated, and I'm really looking forward to playing it when it eventually releases. But in the meantime, what do you guys think of our first look at Cosmic Shake's gameplay? Be sure to leave everything down in the comments section below. Also, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell to stay up to date for more SpongeBob Cosmic Shake news as it happens. And as always, I've been Blue Knight. Thank you guys so much for watching and for the constant support. I'll see you guys back here next time.